係啦，咁我就都會錄低佢嘅，咁我順時提大家我係會錄片，咁啊錄完啲片我會點咧？我會 upload 翻入去 Moodle 嘅，係啦，咁即係變咗你可以即係隨時即係睇翻咯，係啦，即係如果你話我真係 miss 咗某啲部分喎，唔記得咗喎，聽唔清楚喎，咁我會喺嗰個即係 Moodle 裏面你可以隨時睇得翻呢條我錄咗嘅片，咁大家就可以即係得閒望下啦。Okay, so let's start today。係啦，咁我哋開始今日我哋嘅內容啦。咁今日我都會有啲地方要大家開始做啲嘢㗎，例如我今日咧都會要大家開始揾一啲 research 嘅，係啦，就住我哋嘅第一份嘅 assignment。咁我哋第一份嘅功課咧就會做一個人同機械人合體嘅一個即係角色啦，係啦，即係你會見到類似一個人啦，但係佢可能有啲機械元素喺上高嘅一啲 character design 啦。咁所以咧，我哋今個禮拜咧，我就會希望大家即係我希望其實每一堂啦，或者每個星期啦，即係唔想你哋即係好短咁時間去做份功課。咁例如我希望其實每一個星期我都有啲 task，有啲目標俾大家去做。咁然之後咧，就希望大家喺堂上面嘅時間啦，咁我會俾半個鐘頭舉例你去做啲 research。咁我希望大家真係做嘅。咁因為咧，其實我俾咗時間你做啦，咁我就係唔希望你落咗堂自己再花 extra 嘅時間做。當然啦，你發覺堂上面嘅時間唔夠你做，你做得比人哋多啲時間嘅，咁你發覺要再即係用 extra time 去做，冇問題，梗係可以啦。咁但係咧，即係我都盡量想喺堂上面俾多啲時間，即係你哋做啲啦。咁因為如果唔係下下每一科你都上完堂之後再 pay extra time 去做功課，咁其實我都明嘅。咁大家就會堆埋咗好多功課，而科科都要做，咁你邊有時間做咧？係啦，咁所以我每個星期都有啲目標俾大家去完成嘅。咁希望即係大家就唔使即係臨到尾，哇好急急趕趕，跟住先至即係去取一份功課啦，係咪？咁一嚟個效果又唔係好啦。Okay, so today actually we were talking about the robot design. Okay, as I told you last week, this is your first assignment. Your first assignment actually is going to design a character, which is the combination of a human being and a robot. Okay, so you have to think of maybe part of this human, okay, is made by robot, okay, made by some machine. For example, maybe there's a human, but actually the arms is replaced by some robotic arms, or maybe a hand replaced by a robotic eyes, okay, something like that. So you have to think about it. So today, actually, we are going to start with this assignment. Okay, how we start? Actually, we will start with doing some of the research. Some of the research. Okay, so for each of the assignment, I'm not just assigning you the work and then you need to do it at home. Actually, for every week, I will give you some task to do within that week so that you can complete your assignment week by week instead of you just spend 1 day or 2 days to finish your work. Okay. So today we will start working on the research. Okay. So let's try to do it during the lesson. Okay. Because I don't want you to spend so many extra time to work on your assignment. Okay. So let's go deep into this topic. 咁我哋就開始進呢個部分啦。係啦，咁上次我都有曾經都提過大家嘅，咁我哋做一個角色設計嘅時候咧，即係你記唔記得我咪俾咗啲咩米奇老鼠啊、Simpson 啊嗰啲 character design 俾大家睇嘅？咁其實你都記得啦，喂，一啲好成功嘅角色設計咧，其實佢都有一啲嘅特徵㗎。咁佢嘅特徵係啲咩啊？就係一啲比較好形象清晰嘅一啲嘅角色嘅設計，例如可能米奇老鼠，你會見到佢嗰個造型係，無論你係佢有顏色啊定冇顏色都好啦，你會發覺你係好一眼就認得出。 係米奇老鼠噶嘛。咁即係話你會發覺原來一個角色成功咧，佢一定係有啲好 strong 嘅 shape 或者啲 form，你好容易認，一認一望咧你就會記得到噶啦。咁所以我哋去設計我哋嘅角色嘅時候咧，都係一樣啦，用同一個方法去做。我哋就由一啲簡單嘅圖形去開始，而唔係咧一嚟咧就畫一啲好 detail 嘅一啲線條啦。好似我上次都同大家講，其實我唔係好 prefer 大家一嚟咧，即係攞張紙或者攞個 iPad 一畫咧，就畫好仔細、好 fine、好 detail。反而我希望大家係開一張紙，攞張紙、攞支筆或者攞你個畫冚，用黑色，然之後咧撩一啲線條，撩下啲唔同嘅 shape。可能例如好似你而家見到個畫面有正方形、有圓形、三角形。五邊形同埋菱形咁計啦，你試下每一個 shape 去開始諗，例如一個正方形，你試下由一個正方形諗一個機械人，個正方形幾大幾細，佢隻腳隻手會擺喺呢個正方形嘅邊部分咧，或者可唔可以形狀 combine 咧？例如正方形加圓形去砌一隻機械人咧，可能個頭係細嘅，即係圓形細嘅，可能個身嘅正方形就比較大嘅，或者可能你試咗個圓形，跟住試下同一個長方形合體，又會出嚟咩效果嘅咧？我哋多數都會用一啲咁樣嘅方法，由一啲幾何圖形去開始去做我哋嘅形狀，而唔係一嚟咧就畫啲好仔細嘅線條。因為我上次都解釋過啦，你一嚟畫好仔細嘅線條，其實會浪費咗你太多嘅時間。反而我覺得你由一啲簡單嘅 shape 開始去畫一堆嘢，可能你畫咗30個，都係用一啲咁嘅呢啲咁嘅圖形去開始，跟住然之後咧，你就去睇啦。由一啲黑色嘅線條，唔同嘅大細嘅正方形，唔同嘅圓形嘅比較，即係個拼合，跟住睇下邊一個做得好，然之後再喺嗰個去 modify，慢慢加 detail，畫靚佢。咁呢個先係我想你做嘅嘢咯。Okay, so you can see that how we start with working on our character design. You will see that we need to start with a very simple shapes. Actually, is the abstract shapes. Okay, just like what you did in animation principles. Okay, you only need to draw maybe circle, square, rectangle, or diamond shape. Okay. You remember last week I showed you some successful character designs such as Mickey Mouse. You will find that the silhouette is very strong. Okay. Actually, the silhouette of Mickey Mouse, I mean the head, actually is only the silhouette of three circles. Okay, but that three circles make you a very strong image. How they place the circle, okay, so that you will know that this shape is Mickey Mouse, represent Mickey Mouse. Okay, so what you're going to do in this assignment again, you need to start with the abstract shapes. Okay, for example, square shapes. Maybe you can think of a robot which is in square shapes. Okay, but of course a robot should got a body, head, arms, and also the legs. And then you need to think about how to make good use of these square shapes and mix with the head, arms, and also the legs. Okay, so sometimes maybe you will put the legs underneath the square. Maybe you will put the legs next to the square, or maybe you have adjust the size of the square. Okay, so you can start with the square shapes and think of this different combination or different proportion or different placement of your objects, or you can also mix the shape together. For example, maybe you can mix the circle shapes and also the triangle shape together and see which shapes is the best. And then you can further add the detail in these shapes. Okay, so we are not start working on our character design in a very detailed drawing. Okay, because it's really time consuming. So I would not prefer you to draw the things in very detail at this moment. Okay, I need to draft in very rough. Okay, just let your brain to brainstorm your idea. Okay. 咁我哋陣間都會嘗試，大家咧，我可能大家我唔知，大家今日已經會有 Wacom 版喺屋企啊， 或者你哋已經有 iPad 喺屋企啊，定點啦？咁如果你哋今日手頭上冇呢啲嘢嘅同學仔嘅話咧，都唔需要擔心嘅。我成日都會覺得咧，喺 sketch 即嘅狀態咧，我係容許大家畫喺紙、畫喺筆，即係用筆畫紙，即係呢個傳統嘅畫法係絕對冇問題嘅。係啦，咁不過大家交功課嘅時候咧，我需要大家咧 scan 翻到佢靚靚仔仔啦。即係唔好即係有透視啊，即係唔好斜咗啊，唔好喺啲黑掹掹嘅情況底下影啦，搞到你成張嘢黑掹掹咁樣睇唔到啦，係咪？咁所以咧今日可能大家都會開始會畫一啲 sketch 嘅，咁大家只需要準備紙同埋準備筆咧就 OK 噶啦。So in today's lesson, we were working on the research, and also I will ask you to draft some of your ideas, starting with some abstract shapes. Okay, you can feel free to using the paper and pen to draw. Okay, if you don't have the Wacom or iPad at this moment, okay, no worry, you can just do it on paper at this moment today. Okay, because I think that the sketch process, the sketching process can be done on paper. Okay, but for the rest of the assignment, for example, how you add the detail, how you do the coloring, I really, really prefer you would do it digitally. Okay, so you have to bear in mind of that. 係啦，咁所以大家可以即係準備定手頭上有紙有筆先啦，因為等間可能我哋講完呢一 part，我就會俾啲時間你去做一啲 research 啦，同埋然之後去揾即係去畫一啲嘢啦，咁你都可以即係變咗有紙有筆啦。So maybe you can listen to me at this moment and also get prepare your paper and pencil or pen, whatever, okay? Because I will give you time to do the sketch later on, okay? 好啦，咁我會 suggest 啦，大家即係點樣去開始咧？即係頭先我都講啦，今日我哋會講幾樣嘢噶嘛，research 啦，同埋用一啲形狀去畫我個 character 啦。咁但係，喂，我呢個世界咁大，咁點開始啊？即係我一嚟點樣畫個機械人啊？即係我好難噶嘛。咁所以咧，我就會建議啦，大家不如試下諗一啲詞語幫助大家嘅。咁例如呢啲詞語係啲咩咧？可以係個名詞啦，可以係一個形容詞啦，係啦。咁嚟幫助你去即係縮窄下你嘅範圍嘅，我自己覺得係啦。如果唔係你個範圍嘅時太大嘅時候咧，你都唔知點樣去開始。舉例，例如你有冇諗過我哋呢一份功課，你嗰個機械人係點嘅咧？舉例啦，大隻嘅，strong 嘅，你會見到，即係可能我會諗住，我要設計一個機械人係好大份嘅，即係可能佢嘅作用咧係保護人嘅，係啦，保護人類嘅。咁跟住所以咧，我就要設計咧佢好大份嘅，舉例係咁嘅。咁你咪嘗試等陣間你開始畫佢嘅時候，或者你去 draft 嘅時候，你就諗啦，佢係好高大嘅可能，咁嚟開始啦。又或者佢唔一定要高大嘅。可能佢係另外啦，第二個啦就 weak 嘅，瘦弱嘅。咁瘦弱唔代表佢係散嘅，可能我係靈巧啲嘅咯。即係可能我會諗嘅就係佢幼啲嘅，啲手手腳腳唔係咁大份嘅，但係咧佢靈活性重一啲嘅。咁你諗下啦，靈活性咁我會點設計佢會靈活性咧？例如可能佢唔係隻腳嚟嘅，可能呢個 character 佢即係類似最底腳嘅部分啦，類似啦，其實係個碌嚟嘅。咁變咗佢咧，佢可以靈活咁，即係好高速咁轉動啦。即係我就嘗試用一啲字眼去幫我哋去開始。去諗你嗰隻 character 咯。Okay, so because you know that when we're working on your first assignment, actually I don't have any limitation of your imagination. Okay, what is your limitation is you're going to design a robot. Okay, is you cannot change it. Okay, you have to design a robot. And also this is robot is a combination of a human being and a robot. Okay, you cannot change it. But within this constraint, you can think of any robot character you like. Okay, so you know that it's a really good for you to think of any very crazy idea. Okay, but actually it's also very hard for you because you don't know how to start with. Okay, because I don't have limitations, so you don't know how to start sketching your idea. So I will highly recommend you to think of some keywords, some of the keywords. Okay, for example, you can think of the some noun or some adjective, so that you can help you to think of a character design. For example, strong. Okay, so maybe you're going to design a character which is very strong. Okay, so maybe how you present a strong image, maybe I will using a square shapes, maybe I will make my character very big arm, very big shoulders, okay, very big feet, okay, so that it can represent very strong. So maybe you can looking at a lot of research. Also, the robot show you a very strong impression. Okay, so you can study what is that robot will look like, and then you can start sketching your idea. Okay. On the other hand, you can also think of your character is a very weak. Actually, what I mean weak is not really weak, but maybe I think that this robot is very thin. Maybe this robot can move very fast. Okay, so maybe instead of this robot got the legs, I may prefer this robot will have a wheels instead of the legs, so that it can move very fast. Okay, so for all the nouns or adjective, okay, it helps you to focus at one thing, so that you can doing the research based on this focus. Okay, because when you're going to Google and then maybe you start searching your idea, there are so many ideas, too many actually. So it helps you to narrow down part of the things so that you can easily to start with your idea. Okay. 係啦，咁所以有某程度上係幫助你嘅。例如頭先都有講過啦，你都可以諗佢係即係我先講過啦，個機械人係要機械人同人啊嘛嘅合體啊嘛。咁我就係話啦，你可以諗一樣嘢就係、究竟你個人呢、個人邊部分係機械人嘅咧？即係邊一部分唔係人嘅結構咧？例如可能你個故事嘅世界或者你嘅設定，因為呢樣嘢雖然我冇要求呢份功課會寫啦或者諗啦，但係有陣時呢啲嘢你越諗得佢豐富咧，其實越幫助到你去構思你嘅角色嘅。例如可能我呢隻角色係佢跛咗隻手嘅，即係佢可能係俾啲怪獸襲擊啊，佢冇咗隻手啊，咁所以咧佢就會用一隻即係機械手去取代。咁我就諗啦，喂，我呢個機械手係一個高科技嘅機械手啊，定一話即係有時有啲係比較低科技啲，即係可能仲有好多螺絲啊，好多銅片啊，即係嗰種機械人噶嘛，或者你話唔係喎，好高科技嘅，好多 LED 啊，可能有玻璃啊，即係好高科技嗰種感覺，咁係邊種咧？咁你亦都可以諗下，即係咁樣去幫助你。即係收窄你嘅範圍。咁例如佢係咪一定要有雙手同埋有雙腳嘅咧？唔一定㗎，即係你可以諗下，好似頭先講，可能我嘅角色係冇腳嘅，係啦，因為佢有個特質就係快，咁所以我就話佢就冇腳嘅，佢隻類似腳嘅物體咧就用碌去取代嘅，所以佢可以移動一個高速移動啊嘛，係咪？即係呢個係我嘅諗法，即係你哋就係可以即係嘗試去用呢一樣嘢去幫你哋去開始你呢一個創作咯。Okay, so you can starting with some adjective, or you can also think of some things about your character. For example, in this here, I can think of maybe your character, okay, with a cyber eye or cyber arm, okay, means that actually this character don't have a proper human arms, okay, actually it's replaced by a robotic arms, okay, and then so that you can go to the internet and do a lot of research of some robotic arms, okay? Some very fancy or maybe some arms which is a very new technology, okay? So you can think of this idea 係啦，咁你就可以諗下，可能佢係好高科技啊咁樣樣嘅一啲嘅設計咯。咁所以咧，你就要自己嘗試諗下有冇啲形容詞，咁你可以 mark 低嘅。即係而家如果大家手頭上有手，即係唔係有手，即係有紙有筆嘅，你可以聽我講呢堆嘢嘅時候，你可以自己而家構思一下，你角色有啲咩形容詞？even 你見到我寫嘅男定女？男同女好唔同啊，係嘛？即係你男嘅，即係如果你覺呢個角色係唔係中性嘅角色嘅，你有性別俾佢嘅。咁你就會諗下，喂呢個有性別嘅，咁男嘅會點啊？可能我大隻啲咯，女性嘅可能會即叫maybe 係啲葫蘆型 shape 多啲啦，係咪？即係你男性女性都可以好唔同嘅。So you can also think of the gender of this robot, okay? For example, male robot character, maybe is more like muscular. Okay, if there is a female, you will think that the shapes of this robot is very feminine. Okay, so you have to think about it. Okay, if you got a paper next to you, okay, you can using your paper, okay, or you using the paper to write down something, okay, to help you to drop some notes here so that you can when you're doing your research, okay, so you can you can start doing that kind of research。係啦，咁如果你有紙，你可以咧而家就靜靜咧聽住我講嘅時候咧，就揾張紙揾支筆，即係可能喺旁邊啦，drop 低啦，抄低啦，咁你就構思下呢個角色。咁等間你 research 嘅時候咧，就 base on 呢啲 keywords 去揾嘢啦。好啦，咁呢個咧就有啲好得意嘅，不過咧呢個雖然咧我俾你睇啦，但又唔係話完全係 reference 嚟嘅。咁因為咧呢一個 link 咧，其實佢俾即係大家睇咧，其實係全個即係機械人嚟嘅。但係我哋今次呢份功課我先都講啦，有啲 limitation 噶嘛，就係人同機械人嘅合體啊嘛，係咪？咁我呢一個 website 咧，其實就係只係機械人嚟嘅。即係冇人嘅元素，不過我都照相俾你睇嘅，因為我上次都有講過啦，機械人嘅設計有啲特性嘅，就係佢嘅關節。如果你記得嘅話，上次我講過啦，例如呢個係機械手臂，你唔可以咁話佢係機械手臂就係機械手臂咯，你要諗下個機械手臂佢例如個手踭位要轉動嘅。咁佢轉動嘅時候，咁即係佢一定有啲關節喺度先至容許佢有轉動呢個功能㗎嘛，係咪？咁你就要識得畫嗰啲關節啦。例如機械有啲咩關節啊？除咗一啲球形嘅關節啦，可能有啲伸縮嘅關節啦，係咪有唔同嘅關節？咁我都想大家去睇嘅。咁所以呢個 website 即係等間你見到佢個作品就唔係話好 exactly 係我哋。即係呢一份功課想你哋做到嗰樣嘢，但係我都想你睇下你啲關節係點樣畫嘅，同埋啲機械嘅結構會係點嘅，我都想俾你哋望下，等你哋有少少概念係點樣樣嘅啫。So I'm going to show you this website, okay? But actually, it's not 100 the same what I need you to do in your assignment, okay? Not really, okay? But I just want you to show you some robotic joints, okay? Because I told you when you're doing the robot, okay, you have to think about the joint, okay, of the robot, something about the robot. For example, here, okay? 咁例如你會見到機械嘅設計，例如好似呢隻腳啦，我唔知有乜放。得喎，係啦，即係例如好似呢度咁樣樣，你見到咧，例如佢呢啲位係啲關節啦，例如呢個咧類似好似碌嘅物體啦，係俾佢滑行啦，係嘛？咁例如呢四隻腳咧，好明顯係有啲關節喺我而家大 mouse 指嘅地方，佢可以接曲啦，係咪？即係你都會見到啲關節好多時嘅造型係例如係圓形啦，係咪？So you can see that in this drawing, okay? Although this is a robot, not a combination of a human, okay? It's a pure robot, okay? But what I want to show you is how they draw the joints. Okay. For example, you can look closely here. Okay, the joint. Okay, you can see that the legs here, the attachment of the legs and also the body. You can see there's some joint here. You can see most of the joint, they are in a circular shapes, maybe some cylinder or some ball shapes, okay, to show that this is a joint, okay? So when you think of your character, human and robot, okay? For example, the robot arms, you need to think of the shoulder, okay? You also need to think of the mechanism of that shoulder, okay? It can allow you to rotate your shoulder in different direction, just like you, okay? Maybe you need to reach out and catch something on the top of the ceiling, okay? You need to raise your hands, okay? So you need to know that your shoulder can rotate so that you can reach some of the direction, okay? So you have to think about the joint things here. 係啦，咁例如你見到呢度咧，其實就係好多呢啲機械人嘅結構啊，即係例如哇，原來機械人咧佢會有啲咁樣嘅，好似金屬嘅板啦，係好似呢啲咧就好似一啲扣啦，係咪？即係好似安上去呢個金屬嘅扣啦，咁你要好了解一個機械嘅設計係點，咁你先至可以做落去你自己手頭上嘅嘢度。咁例如好似呢啲咁樣樣啦，例如你覺得喂啱用喎，雖然你未知點用。我會建議你 save 低佢嘅，係啦，因為到你可能頭先講啦，你由一啲簡單嘅 shape 開始畫起啦，跟住你由一啲 shape 畫完之後，你就開始會加 detail 啦嘛。咁你加 detail 嘅時候，咪加翻呢啲咁嘅 detail 咯。例如哦，原來金屬咧係有啲咁嘅鐵板啦，有呢啲咁嘅螺絲位啦。如果唔係，你諗下啦，幾片金屬啊，佢哋點樣黐埋一齊咧？唔通揾膠水咩？唔用膠水噶嘛，咁你一定係可能燒焊啦，可能係螺絲啦，呢個方法即係將佢哋黐埋啦。So you can looking at this robot, okay? You will see that when we're doing the robot, you have to think about how this metal attached to each other. For example, you can see this the metal plates. You will see some of the attachment here, okay? So you can see this the attachment, and this is also some metal plates, okay? You will find that when we're working on a robot, we have to know that this is the metal is very rigid, very stiff material, okay? So you have to think about how they stick together, how they attach together. You cannot just use some glue to stick them together. You need to using something to help them to hold it together. So you have to think about different joints and different part of this elements. 嗱，好似呢個啦，就比較相對好似人形啦，有手有腳啦，係咪？咁你見到佢嚟呢個比例都得意嘅，咁佢比例得意在啲咩地方啊？就係佢個上身短，下身長啊！呢個比例係比較得意嘅。咁你哋例如好似頭先講啦，你哋用一啲 shape 開始畫嘅時候，你話喂一個正方形，我哋點樣可以諗啲有趣嘅嘢啊？咁你可以個正方形有唔同嘅大細噶嘛，係咪？正方形可以長方形噶嘛，唔一定要四邊相等嘅正方形噶嘛，可以長方形，可以係打洞嘅長方形，可以打橫嘅長方形。個正方形可以細，隻腳可以長，或者個正方形好大，隻腳好短，係咪？即係你有唔同嘅 variety 可以做噶嘛。雖然我都係用正方形去諗。但我可以有唔同嘅變化，就好似呢個機械人咁，你就見到佢個身短腳長呢個比例，咁你咪試完呢個身短腳長，你下一個嘅 draft 你咪可以試下身長腳短咯，咁就睇下邊個造型你覺得效果同你頭先諗嗰啲 keywords 比較配合嘅，咁你咪用嗰個咯。Okay, so you can see this robot, okay, really look like a human being because you can see this robot got arms and also the legs. But I think that the most important thing or most interesting things here is about the proportion. Okay, you will see that this robot actually they got a very small body. Okay, the torso, okay, is relatively small, you will see that the legs is relatively long, okay? So you can see the proportion here, small body and long legs, okay? So maybe this is your first try. And then maybe you can sketch the second draft of this robot. Maybe this time the body is very long, very big, and the legs is very small, okay? It's the opposite. Okay, so you can try in different proportion, different shapes, different forms, okay, so that you will get different variety, even you are using a simple shapes. Okay，咁你見到呢個咧就好多，即係我自己覺得，雖然唔係話好接近你份功課嘅嘢，但係我真係覺得大家係可以參考下人哋啲機械嘅設計。舉例頭先講啦，喂。我個角色係一隻機械手嚟嘅。咁我頭先咪話你可以諗多啲形容詞去幫助，或者雖然我個功課冇要求你去即係有故事性呢一樣嘢，但係如果你有陣時諗多啲佢嘅 background，某程度上會幫助你去諗你嘅設計嘅。舉例，你呢個係一個軍人嘅角色嚟嘅，即係你呢個人呢個角色設計係一個軍人嘅角色，佢隻手佢隻機械手，我舉例，佢係一個槍嚟嘅，即係佢唔只係一隻手咁簡單，佢嘅手部嘅末端其實係把槍嚟嘅，係一把機關槍嚟嘅，咁啊成個造型都好似一個軍人嘅設計嚟嘅，係啦，咁而佢隻手係一個機械槍嘅設計，咁我就會見到啦，好似嚟呢個咁，呢個機械人你見到都有槍嘅元素喺裏面。咁我唔一定要做手指噶嘛，係咪？我可以係個槍，我係個機關槍，可以個 laser gun 咯，係嘛？即係唔係一定係機關槍，可以係一個即係雷射槍，或者係一把劍嘅，亦都得㗎，係嘛？即係我嘅限制你嘅嘢，只係呢份功課我要你係用人同機械人合體，但係點合法？呢個係你哋嘅選擇嘅自由，你可以越多一啲創作空間俾自己。例如好似頭先講啦，佢係一個軍人，咁佢舉例佢嘅手係隻機械手，你可以唔用手，可以用槍去取代。例如佢係一個軍人，但係我係一隻機械腳嚟嘅，可能佢隻腳係一個機械，令到佢可以作戰好快嘅，係咪？又或者你可以係個醫療嘅機械人，咁可能佢手或者佢隻眼或者佢個頭顱係一個機械嚟嘅。你諗下醫療喎，醫療即係要好聰明啦，係嘛？可能佢個頭顱係一個機械嚟嘅，係啦，跟即係佢可以即係知道點樣醫人嘅，係咪？即係點樣醫病嘅，去幫人做手術嘅，係咪？咁都得㗎喎，即係你有陣時越多一啲你嘅背景嘅設計。去幫助你去諗你個創作咯。如果你冇嘅，你單純就係用我字面份功課嘅要求，就係人加機械嘅設計，你就會發覺你諗唔到嘢咯。你會覺得吓我諗唔到啦，因為你太闊啦。係咪？但係反而如果你嘗試諗一個故事世界，或者諗一個呢一隻係一個咩嘅機械人嘅時候，你某程度上會幫助你去構思你呢個角色咯。Okay, so for the first assignment, okay, the limitation is combining the human and also the robot. Okay, but I didn't mention, okay, what is the background of this robot. For example, maybe it's not a normal human being. Okay, maybe this character is a soldier. Maybe my background of this character, I said in the future. Okay, this is a robot, this is a soldier. Okay, so that maybe I would think of the robot arms is not just a robot arms. Actually, this character don't have fingers. Okay, it will be replaced by some machine gun on this arm. Okay, because this is a soldier. So I think of the arms is not a very ordinary robot arms. I will using some machine gun to put in his arm. so that he can represent as a soldier. Okay, so once you can design a very well background of this character, it's really help you to think of a very creative idea. Okay, so please drop down anything in your mind at this moment. Okay, because it's really help you to do your research later today. 咁啊，當你聽到一啲你覺得好合適嘅，即係頭先嘅解說嘅話咧，有啲 keywords 你覺得好適合嘅，drop 低佢，因為咧呢個係幫助到你咧。等陣間咧，我要你哋去做一啲 research 嘅時候咧，你例如好似頭先講啦，我咧想做一個未來嘅頭先講啦，係嚟一個士兵咁樣舉例啦，soldier。咁你 drop 低佢，你突然間做 research 嘅時候咧，就可以用呢一樣嘢嚟開始去做 research。係啦，好，咁例如好似呢個啦，都係一個即係比較人形機械人嘅一個嘅作品啦。咁呢個係一套電影啦，我唔知大家有冇睇過啦，我有睇嘅，係啦，叫 Chappie 啦。咁其實好得意嘅呢個機械人嘅設計啦，佢係有一個故事嘅世界喺背後啦。一嚟係啦，咁佢咧有好多唔同嘅機械嘅設計嘅，佢有醫療機械人啦。佢有維持治安嘅機械人啦，佢有呢個主角咧，個主角其實係一個即係佢唔覺意跟咗啲黑幫咧去搶嘢嘅，搶人嘢嘅。咁所以咧呢個機械人咧好搞笑，係戴金鏈嘅，係啦，即係佢搶咗人哋啲鏈啦，咁啊戴喺自己度，係啦，因為佢個機械人啦，即係佢個 AI 咧係。人教咗佢乜佢就做乜㗎嘛，佢唔識判斷正確與否啊嘛，所以呢個故事世界就係咁。咁當然佢即係最後佢都唔係一個壞嘅機械人嚟嘅，即係佢知道佢自己即係做錯嘅，其實係啦，咁佢都係做翻即係一個好嘅機械人啦嚇。咁但係佢開頭係跟咗個黑幫嘅機械人嚟，咁幾得意嘅。咁但係我點解會揀呢個電影咧？即係俾大家睇咧，因為佢就係好多唔同類型嘅機械人啊。好似我頭先講啦，你諗呢個機械人嘅時候，盡量諗多啲嘢放落呢個機械人度。即係我嘅意思，諗多啲嘢放落呢個機械人度咧，係設定多啲嘢俾佢。例如佢歲數啦，唔係一定要一個成年嘅機械人嚟㗎，你可以一個 BB 嘅機械人㗎，可以一個青年嘅機械人嚟㗎，一個老咗嘅機械人都得㗎，係嘛？或者佢功能唔同啦，頭先講啦，佢可能機械戰士嚟嘅。一個醫療嘅機械人嚟嘅，唔同嘅工種，亦都幫助到你諗呢個構思，強弱、靈敏度都幫到你諗嘢嘅，係嘛？呢啲嘢正就係呢個電影裏面佢有呢啲唔同類型嘅機械人啦。So, I'm going to show you one of the movie. Okay, this movie is called Chappie. Okay, Chappie actually, you will see there's a lot of different robots. Some robots, they are the soldier. Some robots, they are the medical robot. Okay, they can heal the people. Okay, so for the main character, this one is our main character, Chappie. Okay, actually this is a robot, but actually you know that most of the AI they learn from the human being. Okay, at the beginning, this robot, the Chappie, learn some bad habit from the gangster. Okay, so he learned to rob the people. Okay, so he learned to do some wrong things. Okay, but actually by the end he become a very good robot. Okay, but I would like to show you this movie because they got a different idea of a robot. Okay, so when you think of think of your own design, you have to think of what is the background of this robot. It really help you to think of your own character design. 係啦，咁你等我一陣啊，我將個畫面轉去條度啦。
以精選嘅材料，經過不斷改良嘅配方，帶出非一般嘅香味口感。丹麥藍罐曲奇為你特別嘅時刻加冕。
係啦，咁可以睇下。
Deployment of the planet's first robotic police units became the focus of the world in 2016.
Well about the joint, the mechanical joint.
Vincent
What is
Moore
the
is a
elements
former
of
soldier.
robot?
problem with artificial intelligence is it's way too unpredictable.
The Scout's creator, Dion Wilson, sees a rich future.
What interests me is a machine that can think and feel.
Have a robot that is operated by a thinking human being.
We don't want this. It's expensive, it's big, and it's ugly.
The Scouts are a huge success. Stop worrying about these pet projects.
I think I've cracked it. This is a new kind of life form, a new step in evolution.
So looking at the robot arms, okay, and the LED on the face.
You are Chappie.
Chappie.
It's like a child. It has to learn.
What's that? Chappie's book?
So you can
Yeah,
also
it's
see
yours.
the
Chappie's got stories. Chappie's got a book.
Anything you want to do in your life, you can do.
Okay.
Write poetry, have original ideas.
Chappie wants to paint.
Next, you can see a lot of tube.
Wow.
What in the name of the Lord?
Human robot's a big problem for me.
A thinking robot could be the end of mankind.
Destroy that robot.
Burn it to ash.
There's something of great danger headed our way now.
I don't want to die. I want to live.
If you want to survive, Chappie, you must fight.
Mayhem downtown as police have begun shutting down.
You are my people.
You think you're real?
You don't get away with this. He's special!
I am consciousness. I am alive. I am Chappie.
So you can read carefully about the joint of the arms, okay, the neck, so that you can see some of the form like this one, okay, it's usually used in the robot character, okay. You can see the robotic arms. You can see that the arms, the fingers, okay, they can rotate the finger here, okay, because every part of a fingers, okay, you can see the joint, okay, you will see this the hip joints, okay, you will see that this is some very rigid, very stiff parts, but underneath you can see some of the circular shape here. Actually, this is the joint for this part to rotate, okay. You can see the shoulder here, okay, you can see for the shoulder, you can also see there's some joint underneath so that it can rotate, okay. You can see for the robot, sometimes they will got the LED mon, okay. 咁例如你見到嚟機械有啲咁嘅關節啦，咁亦都有陣時見到呢啲咁樣嘅 LED 嘅 mon 啦，嗱呢啲嚟個膊頭下低呢啲，你會見到佢會有一啲即係圓形嘅關節，等佢做旋轉啊，嚟手踭呢個位又一樣啦，佢要屈曲佢嘅手臂啊嘛，咁所以佢都有啲圓形關節喺度㗎。咁當然啦，你呢啲真係自己要即係要 study 多啲，睇多啲咯。睇人哋嘅設計多啲，睇下欣賞下人哋嘅啲咩好嘅關節嘅設計，係啦。咁頭先條片大佬咁快啊，點睇得清楚咧？咁其實頭先我嗰 note 上面咧嘅第二條 link 咧，其實就會有呢套 Chappie 咧嘅啲 character design 咧，就俾你哋睇啦。咁你就可以望啦。雖然我唔係要你設計一個完全好似呢啲完全機械嘅設計，但係你可以睇翻啲關節嘅畫法，例如佢腰好似我哋咁樣啦，人嘅腰係好靈活噶嘛，係咪？你可以扭腰，可以轉腰，你可以彎腰，可以寒背。點解我哋做到呢啲關節啊？因為我哋就係有個脊椎啊嘛，有腰椎啊嘛。咁機械人冇腰椎啊，咁點算啊？佢就好呢啲關節啦，同埋你都要諗啦，佢係機械嚟噶嘛。機械係咪知有電源啊？有電佢先至去運作噶嘛？咁你諗下啦，例如你個機械人係機械手臂，你唔可以咁樣話一個肉體咁樣黐一個即係機械手臂喺上面㗎。咁你諗下呢個機械手臂係咪都有啲電源喺你呢個機械手臂 somewhere 係咪提供電源俾佢你呢個機械手臂，咁佢先能夠運作㗎嘛？係嘛？冇理由
我直接即係我個人體咁冇理由直接可以推動到呢個手臂㗎，係嘛？咁你邊度係一個電源啊？電源點樣提供去俾呢啲個機械手臂去運作啊？咁雖然我成日用機械手臂去舉例啦，但唔代表大家設計嗰隻機械人一定係要機械手臂啊！記得啦，大家個機械嘅設計可以係機械眼啦、機械頭啦、機械手臂啦、機械腳啦，可能成個中間身體軀幹係機械嘅，反而手係人手嚟嘅都得㗎喎，或者個頭係人頭，跟住下半身全部都係機械嘅，亦都得㗎喎。即係我只不過我方便啲形容咁嘅啫，我唔係限死大家定係機械手臂啊。So because I've just shown you the trailers of Chappies, but it's really fast, okay? You cannot see the details of the character, okay? So I show you another link. Actually, the second link of this my notes, okay? Actually, show you some character design from Chappie, okay? So that you can look deeply about the character design. You can see that the joint of the shoulder, the elbow, the wrist, the backbone. You can see that this is the robot, okay? For example, when the robot need to move the spine, okay, because the robot don't have the spine, okay, so that they will have a lot of joint here, okay, so that it can rotate, okay, so that it can perform different position,